Laurelhurst Park. Are you ready for the show? I said Laurelhurst Park, are you ready for the show tonight? Welcome to Comedy in the Park and Minority Retort. Please give it up for your host, Niraj Srinivasan.
Give yourself a round of applause for being here, please. Yeah. Welcome to Minority Retort, the comedy show that proves, yes, there are brown people in Portland, and no, not just at the Max station. Let me hear you make some noise. Don't call the cops. Please don't. No, happy to be here in Portland. I spent most of my lockdown in LA, which is why I'm glad to be here now, because if a stranger's rude to me in Portland, I can be like, all right, that was probably racism. But if a stranger's rude to me in LA, I gotta face the fact, like, no, this is happening because I'm poor. They know what kind of Prius I drive, they are not impressed. Not down there. Happy to be here. Y'all having a good summer so far? Make some noise if you're having a good summer, yeah? Very nice, very nice. I'm having a great summer. I just got a new job recently, a good corporate job that pays more money than I've ever made. Yeah. So listen, I don't even need this to go well, all right? What if that was my attitude? Like, I don't even need to do good today. Whatever. Nah, I'm really proud to get it. Before I got this job, I was a Lyft driver. That's right. Because even if 3 generations of post-colonial Indian dudes bust their ass to get a college degree, it only takes one idiot to bring the family back to pulling rickshaws, it's all it takes. And lockdown was an interesting time. I know a lot of people like me. I got a lot closer with my family. My father and I have a great relationship now. We didn't really talk a lot before the pandemic. Now we talk all the time. And I'm realizing that my dad has lived in this country just long enough to regret coming. Because he moved here in the year 2000, and now I think he just wants the Indian dream. All right, a lot of you don't know. If you don't know, the Indian dream is where you, again, bust your ass to get a good education, so that you can get a good job where you accumulate a lot of wealth, and then treat people that have less than you like garbage. That's it. That's secretly what everyone in India wants deep inside their hearts for themselves and their children. People get sassy, they're like, oh, that sounds like the American dream. It's not. The American dream is where you coast by, doing the bare minimum. And then eventually shoot somebody, not go to jail, still keep your gun. That's it. That's the best you can do here. That's why when I saw that hashtag, Stop Asian Hate, I was like, oh man, stop Asian hate. It's important, but it's not going to be easy. Some of the most hateful people I've known are Asian, right? How are we going to do it? Yes, I'm counting Indians as Asians, you geographic nimrods. That's what, people get mad. People don't like to think of Indians as Asians. I told that joke in Texas once, and this guy came up to me after, and he's like, hey man, yeah, I thought you were funny or whatever, but that Stop Asian Hate thing, I don't really know if you should be allowed to say that. I was like, what? Why not? He's like, well, it's just not like your territory. I was like, dude, I was born in India. I'm more Asian than most Asians you've ever met. He was like, yeah, but technically they mean East Asian. I was like, well, technically this is North Mexico, so yeah. Why don't you go get right with your God? A lot of people in this country are uncomfortable when they meet me because they've never left. And henceforth, they've never met a refugee that sounds like he's on Friends. It's a very shocking thing. I sound like this because, I was born in India, but I grew up in Boise, Idaho. Yeah, a place where I once saw a man propose to his girlfriend at a Walmart. Without a ring. And she said yes. Why? I can only assume because she was hypnotized by the savings, because I don't know what woman in her right mind would agree to a marriage by the discount DVDs, Where I went to high school started in the 10th grade. So in 10th grade, I went to a new school, and then we had summer vacation, and then I came back in the fall for my junior year. And on the first day of 11th grade, a girl in my math class recognized me. And she was like, "Wow, so you're back with us?" I was like, "What? What do you mean?" She was like, "Well, aren't you an exchange student?" I was like, "No, actually, I'm in a sleeper cell. Can't leave until we blow up Walmart. That's our mission. We'll be doing this town a favor." This last joke isn't gonna land with everybody, but I think some people deserve COVID. I do. I think some people deserve it. Some people deserve it. If you clapped, you deserve it. No, I'm joking. No, I'll tell you who deserves it. This is who deserves it first. Single, childless dudes that refer to themselves in the third person as daddy. You know these guys? You know these characters? The worst. It's never when they've earned it. It's always like, "Oh, break time. Daddy needs a Diet Coke." It's like, "Nah, son. Daddy needs to be attacked by a virus." But now you guys, you're wonderful. Are we ready to keep the show going? Yeah. I am happy you're happy. We got a good one for you tonight. Our next comic coming up is an up-and-coming phenom in the Portland comedy scene. Very hilarious person. Please put it together for the one and only Minrot 9!
Yo, what up, what up? Thanks for sticking around for the next show. You like how they put the minority second? Like, you guys get in the back. You wait before we go. It's hilarious. I like how some of the people got up after they heard it was a minority show. They had to go home. I like to think those are the people with the Black Lives Matter sign in their front yard. With their gentrified homes, you know what I mean? Like, ideologically, yeah. Day to day, the stove is on. Like, I gotta go check it. Yes, minority term. I'm gonna be talking about race. Get comfortable. Get comfortable. I am too a variety of Asian that gets confused. I'm Cambodian. Make some noise. You know what Cambodians are? Oh my God, I feel so seen. Actually, that's pretty cool. Yeah, my name is Min Ra. Cambodian name. You know, we don't get a lot of chats from Cambodia. You know, growing old, when I grew up with this name, you know, of course it was hard, but you learn to love it as an adult. Like, the cool thing about my name is I don't get mistaken for other Minrafs. You know what I mean? Like Jason, for example. I know a white Jason. So he's Black Jason. Never met another white Minraf. You know, they're not around. I have met a Black Minraf though. I met him in college. Yeah, believe it or not, it's so I used to play basketball a lot in college, and every time I would get nervous before a game, I would think to myself, what would Black Minraf do? And I'll go out there and have a really good game. Really good game. That's something for you white guys at the club. You know what I mean? You get uncomfortable at the club. Just go, what would white Chad do? A bunch of white guys coming up, warming their hands up. You ever seen that move? Only Black guys can pull that move off. Everybody look cold. It was like, oh my God, is he cold? He's so cold. It doesn't work everywhere though. Not for everybody. You know, like you need a new hairstyle. Like, don't say to yourself, Rebecca, what would Black Rebecca get? And get fucking box braids or something like that. Don't do that. You know what else came from Southeast Asia? The word bamboozle. Yeah, seriously. So when the British were, colonizing everybody, they had a hard time in Southeast Asia because of the thick bamboo forest. They had the land, they had to navigate through, and in there waiting for them, me. Right, we would sneak attack them, and then they would run back to their ships. And the ship guards are like, bloody hell. Sorry, excuse the accent. I don't know how to do that. Bloody hell! Where's all my mates? And then the other guy that survived, he would come in, he was like, jolly good. You don't believe this, but we got bamboozled. There you go. That's the origins of the word bamboozle. Don't look it up, by the way. Don't look this up. Don't look this up. Spread it this way. You make up history all the time. Remember Christopher Columbus? We can't get bamboozled. Come on. I figured out this new trick with my phone. Or not my phone, but you guys ever like drop your phone and right before Instagram you put your foot out? You save it? It's a lifesaver, right? Well, guess what? It works on babies too. It does! Try it out, man. A lot of them. I heard a moan. Wait, make some noise if you're parents. Okay. The majority of you can kiss my ass. Alright? You don't understand. These people are squirrely, right? They don't want to be held, and so sometimes they drop themselves. Like I was with my daughter, and she was squirrely, and I was making a bottle for her, and she fell, so I stuck my foot out, and I saved her. Seems responsible to me. Some of you are like, oh my God, she's okay. She's fine. She's fine. She made it through. I dropped her off at the pond. I said only waist high, okay? That's a cool thing about like kids, bringing them to public places, and something bad happens. Not only your fault, but it's all your fault. All right. Portland's a pretty cool place. The food's really good here. I really like the food. It's good, but it's weird. Like you would go to culturally specific restaurants and everybody be hot. The cook staff, everybody. And I'm not trying to prove it right or wrong here, because I don't read. I'm just saying it's weird. Right? Like if y'all went to Cracker Barrel and everybody was Asian, how weird would that be? So me and my girlfriend were eating this Thai restaurant. I had a picture of a Thai grandma. I couldn't pronounce the name of the restaurant, so I'm like, oh shit, this is about to be good. We're sitting outside, and it was good. She got the curry. I'm like, what kind of curry is this? It said squash, and I'm like, trying to think about if we have a word for squash, and we don't. And so I run to the restaurant, and I'm like, bloody hell, I got bamboozled. All right, that's my time. Thanks for listening, y'all.
One more time for Midnight Pie! He's hot too, but don't tell him. Keep him humble. No. Oh man, you guys are in for a treat. Our next comic is a local treasure. She runs a show called The Comedy Corral every second and fourth Thursdays right here in Portland. Please put it together for Julia Corral!
I'm back. Hey, everybody. You guys, I'm turning 40 in a couple months. Thank you. Sometimes people are like, Julia, I don't believe it. You don't look a day past 26. And it's kind of annoying. And it's not like I can't take a compliment. It's more like I'm insulted that they think this is the body I would choose to have in my 20s. Right? This is a woman's body. This took decades to cultivate. Also, I need to retire that joke. That is a pre-pandemic joke. I know I don't look like I'm in my 20s anymore because I went to a bar with a 25-year-old and we both got carded and she pulled her out and I'm like in my grandma purse, Safeway like receipts flying everywhere. And he's like, just kidding, I don't need to see it. I see your grays. I know, gross. Want to know what this feminist did? Only tipped him $1. Really stuck it to the man. But when you're like turning 40, I feel like nobody who's older, like they keep it a secret. They don't tell you you're about to go through second puberty. You just wake up one day shocked. I woke up this month with a pot belly, with whiskers, with thinning hair. You guys, I'm turning into Danny DeVito. You're shocked, I'm shocked. I'm Latina, I'm Mexican. I thought I was gonna grow up to be Selena. Bad news, I'm not. I'm growing up to be Yolanda. Her murderer, yeah. If you're not laughing, Google that. That joke literally kills. My culture is your culture. That is why you're here. No, I was like, Julia, you need to get in shape. So I was like, what am I gonna do? I signed up for yoga. Who does yoga out here? Everybody, right? Yoga in the park? I don't know what took me so long. Did you know you can go to class and lay down the whole time and they don't care? And you get to walk out with that mat when you're done. Everybody's like, look at her. But I got a Groupon because I'm cheap. And so I go to a bougie studio in Portland. Any of them. Just pick one. It doesn't matter. There's a very cute girl at the check-in counter, very young, very blonde, and she's like, oh, can I have your last name for check-in? I said, oh, it's Corral, C-O-R-R-A-L. She's like, oh my God, that is the coolest last name ever. Is that what your parents do? I was very confused. Because I was like, does she think that my parents are migrant workers? Does she think that we own the steak corral? Is that what they're still teaching in public school? So many things going through my mind. But I said yes, because I didn't want to tell her they just worked in HR. I was like, yeah, that's how I got my last name. But I started thinking that, wouldn't it be cool if that's how we still got our last names from what our parents did? You know, what would my last name be? It came to me. If I was named after my father, my name would be Julia Self-Righteous Recovered Addict. And if I was named after my mother, my name would be Julia, I spent your inheritance on tchotchkes at Ross. A lot of hyphens, right? But also accurate, very accurate. I also my friend got me to do one of those runs, those mud runs. But this was zombie edition. I feel like white people all think that they're gonna make it to the end of the zombie apocalypse. Talk about some privilege, right? Not me, I'm gonna sign up for tribute. I'm turning into the first zombie. Hear me out. I'm always hungover. So I'm a slow walker. I'm always cottonmouth, so I'm all, And I'm Mexican, so I'm already eating brains and tacos, right? Basically, I'm gonna be the Beyonce of zombies. And I'm ready for it. So I'm from LA originally, I am a transplant, and I feel like in LA, everyone's brown. And when I moved to Portland, they're like, you're a BIPOC now. And I speak for all Mexicans. I do. I've only had entry-level jobs in the city. I've had dinner with Kate Brown twice. I leaned into that table. I did. And I'm fourth generation, and a lot of people don't know a lot of fourth generation Mexicans. And that's because we're basically just Americans at that point. Right? That is what we are. And so I always thought I was raised authentically Mexican, but it turned out it's just my third generation Mexican mother making up lies. Making up wives' tales. I wasn't raised with my father. She was a single mother. So she told me that I shouldn't date another brown person because I'm probably related to them. Also, she told me only white people pooped in public. I know, that's crazy, right? So for the past 30 years, I've been walking around constipated. And my love life looks like the end credits of a Woody Allen film? Too many white guys are not enough. It depends which way you look at it. Half left. I will tell you this, my mom did die recently during the pandemic, and I know it was very sad, but I'm Mexican, so she comes back to visit me often. She does. I just used some brujeria, and I really wanted to complain about my mom, like my boss to my mom, and she wasn't coming back. So I tried to do different things to summon her. I wore her favorite Mickey Mouse t-shirt. It wasn't really Mickey Mouse, it was like that swap meet generic rat. I wore her favorite perfume, Fabulosa. What I did was I found her favorite dish in the city. It's very hard to find. Have you ever heard of mole? Do you guys love it? Oh my God, I hate it. And maybe it's chocolate and chilies, acid reflux for me, but I wanted my mother to come back. I licked the whole plate clean. I did. And then 5 minutes later, I got the worst case of diarrhea I had ever had. And then I went to the restroom and I was in a single stall and I was laughing and I was crying. And then it came to me, oh my God, it worked. I had summoned my mom. She was in that bathroom with me and I felt her. And I know she didn't want me to have diarrhea, but I knew she was pissed that I was going number 2 in public. And I could hear her say, so what, you're white now? Thank you guys so much.
Let her hear it! Yeah. She's my cousin. We totally made out in a porta potty. Second cousin. Don't worry about it. Last names are fine. It's funny to me that so many white dudes have first names that are just jobs that you don't need a college degree for. You know, I met a lot of Masons and Hunters. You know, never met a Surgeon Smith, right? Doesn't happen. White girl names are funnier too. I've met 4 white girls named India. I've never met an Indian girl named Wisconsin. Not even by mistake. But our next comic will tell you about the white girls. He runs a show every Wednesday at Mississippi Pizza called Dough, and he's absolutely fantastic. Please put it together for Thomas Lundy!
What is up, everybody? Yes, this is beautiful. The whole city came out, loving it. It's a fantastic day out here, is it not? Yeah. Dude, we had a little company picnic at my job today. It's very fun. Played some games. It's kind of embarrassing though. I almost hurt my knee playing kickball. That is a real, I'm in my 30s now, wake-up call, right? You almost get hurt playing kickball, what's next? You tear your ACL playing hopscotch? You just gotta get a new job after that, I'm pretty sure. You can't show up in the office anymore. Insurance won't cover it. Doctor's like, what happened? You're like, dude, I hopped when I should have scotched. It's embarrassing. No, we won 23-3. I'm the only black guy in the office. Sorry, it was easy. Running the bases on crutches, still won. Look, a little bit about myself. I am what you would call a hating ass nigga, man, right? A successful white man, one of my least favorite things to see. Gross. Knock it off, okay? I was at a comedy show one time and I saw this dude go and do his very first set ever, and he killed it, absolutely crushed, right? Which is usually cool, we love to see that in comedy. Except he was a hot doctor. So fuck that dude, alright? Knock it off, alright? Reel it in, dog. I'm trying to get healthcare. One day you literally are healthcare. Enough. Don't take this from me. This is my sad escape from my regular sadness. I'm just saying, dude, I gotta listen to motivational podcasts to get to work every day, and I work from home. There is a such thing as too much winning. Right? You ever meet somebody that's like tall, beautiful, like everybody loves them, they got a great job. Start looking at them sideways, you're like, alright dog, You better be racist. All right, knock it down a little bit. Give me something. No, the universe needs balance. That's why all male porn stars can't read. It's true. Go home and look that up. I would not lie to you. Can't tell a lie. Now a little bit more. I moved to Oregon cross country on a Greyhound bus in my early 20s because I had what you would call a philosophy degree and no future. Yeah. Greyhound bus was one of the worst mistakes of my life, and that is counting the philosophy degree. No, I was just too young and naive for the Greyhound bus experience, you know? Like, I showed up early. First mistake. Just a little rule of thumb here. Nothing good happens at the bus station before the bus gets there. This guy walked up to me as soon as I got there. He was like, "Hey, young brother, let me take your bags for you." And I was like, oh my God, what service? No, he just took my bags. I never saw any of that stuff ever again. Thank you, sir. Right then you get on the bus, you actually get on there, it's not any better. It smells weird. You get seated next to some dude listening to Joel Osteen at max volume. It's like a porta potty full of missing parents. Everybody on there is either running from fatherhood or desperately in need of it. Dude, if you're going somewhere and you can only afford to take a Greyhound bus, just steal a car, dog. Way safer than a stolen car. Trust me. Trust me. I'm in my 30s now, and I'm like, it's cool, I love aging, I love being wiser and older, but I gotta adjust to new stuff. Like, for example, it's like weird knowing you're not cool anymore. Like, teenagers make fun of me. And you never want to give a teenager a W, because they're the worst people on the planet, let's be honest, right? Have you ever seen teenagers, like, hanging out outside, and you're like, this isn't illegal, but I feel like I should call somebody, right? You're having too much fun, right? No, they like make fun of my clothes, like skinny jeans. Those aren't cool anymore. They tell me my legs look like 2 spicy drumsticks. It hurts, dog. It does. Right? But I'm an OG. I remember when skinny jeans were new. They were so new they weren't even called that yet. They were called girl pants. And the only way to get a pair was to buy women's clothing. Yes. You and your little weird emo friends in Macy's just stealing with gusto. You had to go home and unbedazzle them, right? Your dad's knocking on the door like, what's going on in there? You're like, shh, I am redefining masculinity, Pops. I was, dude. I was an emo kid. It sucked. I'm glad it's over. I've deleted all the evidence, right? Emo was a weird time for young men from my generation. It just proved that teenage boys are very dumb, right? We created an entire genre of music that none of us really liked that much, instead of just talking to our dads. I was an emo kid because I thought it was going to get me laid. Did not work, right? Yes, Thomas, that's what women want. A frail man who cries a lot and wears her clothes. Good idea, dude. As I get older, I'm starting to realize I'm not as smart as I used to think I was. This dawned on me when me and one of my friends were talking about my favorite movie. It's when I realized that my favorite movie is definitely just whatever the last movie I saw is. I have such low standards for entertainment. If you dim the lights and give me a handful of M&Ms, I'm gonna have a great time. There are some movies that I don't like though. Black people. I think black people have to stop making such bummer movies, right? But they do not all have to be historically accurate. You can just do what white people do with actual history and make shit up. Saw the previews to this movie called 12 Years a Slave. My initial reaction to that was, that's too long a slave, though. I'm not sitting through that. Better idea for a movie, 2 months a slave. Okay? That's a thriller. That title asks questions. How did you escape? What did you do with the rest of your summer? Did you meet a lady? Right? Thriller. Okay? Hey, look, I got one more thing for y'all. You guys are great. I don't hate white people, but I do hate what you've done to grocery shopping. Okay, you created this thing called Whole Foods and then sprinkled it throughout my neighborhood like some kind of racist tooth fairy. At least when you did it with crack cocaine, it was at prices we could afford. It's just a cultural disconnect, okay? Same way some of y'all don't understand drill music, I don't understand charcuterie boards. Hey, I don't know what a Brazil nut is, but you probably should have just left it in Brazil, right? You go in there, every Whole Foods, y'all know this, there's too much stuff in there that we don't need. You have a thing called vegan chocolate chip cookies. Y'all made cookies vegan, and I didn't even know cookies was an animal. Kombucha has its own aisle now. Kombucha, dog? A product you can get by just buying iced tea and waiting. Look, I don't think I'm better than you. Of course not. That's not what I'm saying. I love a good oat milk latte, okay? I buy mushroom supplements. You think I know what they do? Hell no, okay? But the cashier, she's cute. She sees me buying them. She respects me now. That's all I need. It's good enough. What I'm saying is, Portland, when the revolution comes, it will not be gluten-free. Okay? Thank you guys. I'm Thomas Lundy. Have a great evening.
We're going for Thomas Lundy! He doesn't hate white people. Look at, come on, you're a lovely group of very peaceful white people. Usually when it's this many, we get nervous. But this is good. This is going well. I love it. It looks like Wes Anderson directed a mayonnaise ad. This is fantastic. What a happy group. You're gonna love your next comic. She's a regular at Helium Comedy Club, and she's got a show on PBS called Mega Wow. The one and only Katie Wynn!
Thank you. Hello. How are you doing tonight? You doing good? Wow, it's really, you know, this makes me think, you ever watch like movies and there's like the Roman Legion and like the guys at the front giving orders, you're just like, there's no way those people in the back can hear what he's saying, right? You ever think about that? You ever like pass it back? It's like, fire, 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 fire. I don't know, I think about that a lot. You ever think about like ancient violence? It's my favorite type. People have like weird interests sometimes. They're like, I'm really in a World War, like you're in a fucking war, like this weird shit. Yeah, I like this. I feel like I'm in daycare. Dada. Gross. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's bumpy. It's bumpy. It's like mini golf. Yeah. Oh, so I'm sorry. I'm a cartographer at heart. I love doing comedy. Comedy's primarily a nighttime gig. It's always in the evening. My day job, I work with kids. I think a lot about the advice we give to kids. And most of the time, it's just like way easier said than done, right? Like when a kid's being made fun of, when a kid is being bullied, all we say to them is we just go, oh hey, you know what? You just tell them this. You just say this. You just go, I am rubber and you are glue. Whatever say bounces off of me and sticks to you. Right? In my experience, it's been a lot more like, I am Tupperware and you are tomato sauce. Whatever you say becomes a part of me and ruins me forever. It's okay, you see the Tupperware. It's your least favorite and you're always trying to give it away. That's me. She's like when I do that. She's like when I walk like a 40s cartoon, you like that? So, you proud of me, Mom? This is what I do, a clown. I have a master's degree. I said I work with kids. I'm a teacher specifically. That's my day job. I'm a teacher. Thank you. We weren't prepared for this. They don't teach you about this in grad school. So many of us are quitting. Who's even left? Teaching's a very interesting gig though, because like on one hand, you deliver very specific academic content, very specific set of skills that students will use in further education of the workplace. But on the other hand, you just spend like so much time with these kids, you end up teaching them a bunch of like random life lessons here and there, right? Because you're around them all the time. Right? You end up teaching kids stuff you never expected to teach a kid, right? Like some kind of weird stuff. For example, I never expected this in a million years. I actually ended up teaching a kid how to, I taught a kid how to properly drink the crumbs at the end of a bag of chips. You know what I'm talking about, right? Like there comes a point with every bag of chips you go from like eating with your hand, right, to drinking from the bag, right? There comes a point with every bag. And there's a right way to do it. We all know this, right? There's a right way to do it. And this came up one day. It was lunchtime. I was at my desk eating lunch in my classroom. Kid eating lunch at a desk. I wasn't paying a lot of attention to him. He's eating chips. I just happened to be looking over his direction when he gets done with the eating portion, right? And I watch as this kid goes to drink the crumbs right at the end of the bag of chips, and I watch this kid just pulls his hand out of the bag, and then in just one fell swoop, no aiming whatsoever, just overturns the bag over his face. Crumbs everywhere. It was a mess. Amateur hour, pathetic, sad, hard to watch, really. Hard to watch. I see that. Really. So I had to intervene, of course, right, because I'm a mandatory reporter, okay, right? Couldn't let that continue. Would have been unethical, really. As a matter of fact, really. And so I had to intervene, of course. I went over and I taught this kid how to drink the crumbs at the end of a bag of chips, right? Because like I said, there's a right way to do it. We all know this, right? I went over there and I taught him you gotta straighten all the edges of the bag, right? You gotta shake all the crumbs into just one corner of the bag, right? And you need to use a gradual tipping motion. I don't know why I'm telling this. You're adults. You know this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. There's a right way to do it, right? We all know this, right? And the kid didn't have any more crumbs, right? So I'm like, oh, hopefully he learned that and he went on his way. The next day, it was lunchtime again. I was eating lunch at my desk. Kid was eating lunch again. He's got chips again, right? So this time I'm just side-eyeing this kid the whole time, right? You gotta check for comprehension. That's what they call it. You gotta check for comprehension, right? So just side-eyeing this kid the whole time as he's eating his chips, right? And he gets done with the eating portion. I'm now just staring rapt at this child with his bag of crumbs. Right now, I just get slowly, this kid straightens all the edges of the bag, shakes all the crumbs into one corner, drinks them using a gradual tipping motion. And I just gotta tell you that watching that kid drink those crumbs at the end of the bag of chips was just so rewarding. Just really reminded me why I got into education, you know. I'm gonna change lives, okay? You're welcome for my service. I'm sorry. You guys make me straight need. I don't know why that, Is that like a compliment? Some kind of weird old-timey compliment? You know, they probably said like really fucked up stuff to each other in the past, right? Like, oh, you're so beautiful. You're like a freshly laid train track across the Great Plains, you know? You guys are really on trains. Something I've been thinking a lot about in recent years, and people have been talking about a lot too, is imposter syndrome, right? Imposter syndrome. And if you're not familiar with imposter syndrome, it's basically you feel like you don't deserve the things you have, or maybe you shouldn't be given the responsibilities you've been given, you're a fraud, people want to find out at any moment. Clap your hands if you've ever felt imposter syndrome at any point about your entire life. I would say it's a fairly universal experience, you know. I've experienced it in different contexts to varying degrees, you know, like at work and relationships, riding the bus. It's putting the bike on the front of the bus. Why it's so fucking scary every fucking time? Why is it so scary every fucking time? No matter how many times you do it, it's just always scary. You know, they don't teach you how to do that. You know, they don't teach you how to use it. They don't teach you how to use that, right? You can't just learn either. You can't just, you can try, you can plan on, you can sit at a bus stop, right? You can wait, you see someone with a bike, you can wait, you just want to see what they're gonna do, what they're gonna watch, they're gonna take the bus, and they're just gonna put their hand, they're just gonna reach behind the ad, and you're just staring fucking at Billy Grippo, right? And their hand is back there, you're like, what the fuck is it doing back there? Like, what are they doing back there? So you can't learn like sitting on the bench, right? You can't just go, you can't the first time, you can't be like, it's our first time, you can't do that, it's embarrassing, right? You just gotta go, right? You gotta hope, right? You gotta, what are they doing? You just stay your bike, you gotta reach, you know, see what's back here, it's like a little knob, it's like a thing, it's like holding, it's like a hand big enough, like a small hand, like you reach, you look at staring through the glass, I can't hear you, but you can see, you can go, I don't know what I'm doing, you gotta help me, they don't teach you this, I don't know what you gotta help me, I don't know what the fuck, they don't teach you, right? They teach you. You know, they're like, you know, they should teach kids how to do taxes. Like, don't teach me how to do taxes. Teach me how to combine the two cheapest forms of transportation. All right, that's relevant to my life. Okay, taxes. You need to make money pay taxes. I will say though, I never feel imposter syndrome so strongly. I never experienced it so acutely though as every single time that I am trying to open something that is child-proof. Do you get this? Or does this happen to you? Like you see something that's child-proof, like child-proof, haha, I got this, not a child, it's been a while. With all the confidence in the world, you gotta open this thing and you realize immediately, like, oh fuck, I can't open this again, right? Start to worry, right? Because you're in public and people can see you, right? They can see you can't open this child-proof thing, but you're like, I'm not a child, I'm an adult, we're drinking, I'm an adult, we're drinking, I'm not a child, right? You're trying to open this thing, right? You're sort of squinting, that's not helping, right? It's not helping that you're squinting a little, right? School nervous, right? People staring at you, right? You think, maybe I'll use my palm, go show my palms, an adult-sized palm. You know, the fingers are going, you know what these things, you know, you're doing one of these things, you're like so hard, you're trying to freak out because people are looking at you, people don't realize, I know you're actually still a baby. You guys ever get that? You guys ever get that? Just get that. These little weed jars, why are the weed jars so hard to open? Why are little weed jars are so hard to open? Like they're so hard. Why are they so little weed jars? Like, they're so hard to open. Why? Why? I think it's a good system though. It's a good two-tier safety system because like on one hand, if you're not grown enough, you're not adult enough to like be strong enough to open one of the little jars, you might not be old enough to be smoking weed, right? Right? But like also, if you've already smoked so much weed, you're starting to worry that like, maybe you have like Benjamin Button syndrome. And maybe you should stop smoking weed. Like you probably had enough. Probably enough. You ever smoke so much weed, you start to wonder if you're turning back into a baby? Do you ever get so high you're like, me baby? Me baby? Me baby? She get merch, like a t-shirt, so my face that says, me baby. I have to do that joke at every single show, right? Like I get famous, like on the road every single show, the crowd's like, do me baby. I'm like, God damn it. It's like Radiohead and Creep, they don't like when you like, they don't play that, right? You know, I go out, and they're like, do me baby. I'm like, I get the crowd what they want, so I'm like, all right. You get so high, you're like, that's my dream. Manifestation. You've been a wonderful crowd. Thank you so much. I'm Katie Lynn.
Keep it going for Katie Wynn, everyone. Let's hear for all the comics you've seen so far. Give them a nice round of applause, yeah? Yeah. Like I said before, this is Minority Retort. Our next show is on August 12th in the Siren Theater at 3rd and Davis. So please do check us out on social media. We're going to be posting ticket links and whatnot. Yeah, all right, that guy's coming. Don't let him in. No, thank you. All right, are we ready for our headliner of the evening? Oh, you don't seem that ready. Laurelhurst, are we ready for the final comic of the night? Yes! Our next comedian is a local legend. He's a regular at Helium Comedy Club, one of my favorite people in the city. Please put it together for Adam Posse!
Keep it going for all the comics y'all saw so far tonight. Keep it going for all 473 comedians y'all sat through tonight. No, seriously, I appreciate you staying for both shows. Clap your hands if you like the first one better. I almost had you. No, it's really dope that y'all came out tonight to support live mosquitoes. I think it's beautiful. Whatever one of y'all got, we all got now. So it's good that we're sitting so close. I do miss the masks. I do, mostly because my friends are uglier than I remember them being by a lot. The Gap's what's bugging me. I think Pfizer cured my astigmatism on accident. Yeah, I've been coming to grips with the fact that I was the hot chick in my group this entire time. I wish someone would have said something. I'd have paid for less stuff all these years. That's a joke, obviously. That's a very silly joke. The real and true reason I miss the mask mandate is because my kink. What I'm into, fetish-wise, is trampled freedom. And so that's why my nipple's been rock hard the last 2 years straight. I got a tramp stamp that says Kate Brown is my daddy. I can't finish unless you step on a rattlesnake in front of me. It's the only way. Fine, Jason, I'll make it nicer. I had a fun week. I had my last day at my job this week. Yeah. I used to work for, I don't work there anymore. I worked for New Seasons. Burn them down. Burn them all down. If you live near a non-unionized New Season, just set it on fire. Wink, jokingly, definitely don't do it. This is me legally telling you I can't be held to those words because they were obviously a joke that I don't stand behind 100%. I will mask up with you in the black of night and unleash fiery vengeance upon these monsters who drain blood from the working class. That's not me. That's not what I'm up here saying. Also, let's not get too, we're going to make a change about it. I am going to go back to work for them at the end of summer. So it's not. Don't make me your leader. Y'all are messing up if you do that. We'll mess up and burn down a Trader Joe's on accident. I've done it. I've done it before. I used to be a cashier by day, and those aren't the words I should use. The by day implies that this is crime fighting. And you've never heard a Marvel trailer start with, by day, he checks groceries. But at nightfall, he goes into the city to complain about checking groceries. This summer, Adam Posse is not college educated. So, my job wants me to start cracking down on teenagers who are trying to purchase not alcohol, CBD. You know the hardcore street drug? The Schedule -1 substance, CBD. Yeah, my old bosses were afraid that some high school kid was gonna take it behind the gym and get a teensy bit more ready for bed than he was a half hour ago. A pediatrician will toss an Adderall into your kid's mouth from across the room without looking. Skyhook even. But heaven forbid some sophomore cheerleader wants to alleviate her joint pain. Kind of. Yeah, she can't tell the difference, to be honest. I'm on board, though. I like that we did that. I thought we should take it a step further, figure out what it'll lead to, because as you all know, CBD is a gateway placebo. So we need to figure out what are the types of make-believe stupidity this is going to have the children using to get not high with. Because sure, today it's just CBD, but tomorrow there might be vision boards. After that, they'll start wearing those copper bracelets the TV tries to sell to old people at night. One thing leads to another. We're going to find ourselves in the middle of a healing crystal epidemic. Yeah, they won't be smoking the rocks, they will be using moonlight to charge them with positive energy when Mercury's in retrograde, of course. Worst customer ever was not trying to buy the LaCroix of the cannabis world. No, those are all good. Yeah, they're all good. Those vegetables. This dude slammed a produce bag on my belt, pointed in my face, and yelled out, "I came in for shallots!" Yeah, that's a bad start already. Nothing good follows shallot yelling. We all know that from the lives that we've led, our shared experiences. He said, "I came in for shallots, and y'all just sold me a bunch of tiny onions." And now, if you don't know what a shallot is, and if you needed me and everyone who just laughed to explain it to you using only 2 words, the words we'd have gone with would be, y'all want to say it on 3? 1, 2, 3. But herein lies the power of a true Karen. Yeah, that's what this man was. This was the day I learned that's a non-binary term. The entitlement was thrumming off of this white lady of a man with so much intensity. Mexican dude, by the way. Not that day, or puta blanco, as far as I'm concerned. Had the entitlement coming off of him so hard, it made me question my own grip on reality. Because I looked into a bag of what I knew in my heart were shallots. And in a moment of weakness, I asked myself, could these be tiny onions instead? It was just a second though. I shook it off. I got back up, stared him in his face, and I was like, "Hey!" Had the same effect too. Yeah, I just watched the whole Stranger Things, so I know how to do stuff like that now. I'd make a reference to there being a number tattooed on my arm, but it'd be problematic at a minority show, so we're not going to do that. Yeah. I'm not going to do that. I said, "Hey, let me get the produce manager from the back so he can come help you." But I put some stank on it. It's not like he punked me. There was some attitude in there. It was more like I was saying to him, "Hey, we're gonna get my vegetable daddy out here. And then you're gonna find out what is and isn't a shallot today." But after dealing with this man, even vegetable daddy, the orderer of shallots started taking them one at a time and holding them up to the light for inspection. At some point, he added a jeweler's loop to his eye so he could really get in there. At that very moment, we were 2 hissy fits away from a nationwide tiny onion recall. They were shallots. Of course they were shallots. Produce said they were, and upon hearing that, Karen, he, shockingly chill about everything afterwards, dropped the attitude completely, apologized for wasting our time, then picked up his bag of now confirmed shallots, and he left. But as he walked out, I saw in his other hand a Safeway bag filled with Brussels sprouts. I think he's heading there next for a tiny cabbage refund. Obviously, that's what he's... Sorry for the tonal shit, but I'm about 2 months into what I say has been the most painful breakup of my life. No, we should all sleep with him to cheer him up! It's a fair point, he said that. Who said? Because what I heard just now was all of you saying it in unison. Is that correct? In that case, we don't have to leave before it gets dark here. Now, I did lose 20 pounds since the breakup. No, it was on accident. She took the snacks in the divorce. It was real ugly, too. We had to get an arbitrator so I could see Little Debbie on the weekends. And a friend did ask, have you been too sad to eat? And I told him, I don't even know what those words mean in that order. I was like, can you hear yourself right now? Do you draw that sentence out of a hat? What's going on? Do you smell toast? Yeah, if my appetite is affected by emotions, that's not the direction it moves in. And I'm proud of the weight loss. I feel great about the weight loss. I don't quite feel like I have a revenge body just yet. Like, I couldn't tag her in an Instagram post today and be like, you couldn't handle me at my 600-pound life. So now you don't deserve me at my Jack Black School of Rock. Like, that's not gonna move the needle for anyone. I just gotta be happy for myself. How good I my friends helped me through it. When it happened, they got me a bunch of drinks and just listened to the story. It made me feel seen, cared about. And it worked. It helped a lot. Until they started drinking with me. Because me telling my tale made them want to also spill their guts. In spite of the fact, this was supposed to be my night, if you recall how we all got there together. Yeah, I went from a friend in need to a grief counselor for an entire group of people. Because they started going in a circle. They made a circle around me with chairs. Talking about all the crazy stuff they've been through in breakups, and that made me feel even better. Theirs was so much worse. Yeah, I got a flight, as it turns out. Because look, I got hurt feelings, and there's this really comfortable pair of basketball shorts I left at her place, and those are gone. Yeah. Meanwhile, these people were talking about kidnapped pets, drained bank accounts. Two of them had their house burnt down by an ex during a breakup. I know I'm not supposed to smile when I say these things, but their pain healed me. Yeah, it turns out the cure for heartbreak, everyone else's tears. Did y'all know that? Really does the trick. That's why the next month, my best friend lost his girlfriend. And when he texted me about it, I responded in all caps with, "Sad boy summer, let's go!" All right, I'll do one more joke. Can I do one more? Go ahead, one more? All right, it's not nice, so this is your fault. I do mean that in that it gives you perspective. When you see people around you going through worse things, you can't really wallow in self-pity about your own problems. For example, how could I cry about losing a girlfriend when my next door neighbor lost his wife of more than 50 years last summer? And I remember the day it happened, because the day after that, he brought over to my house all of her leftover cigarettes. And no, I'm just as confused as you all are. Well-lit faces, so I feel the same. Yeah, I haven't been doing that. I'm not here to tell you about the rich Samoan tradition of ghost cigarettes for your neighbor. It's not us. No, my first concern was I was thinking, did I forget having served time in prison with this woman? Whereupon a debt was incurred. Like tomorrow is her widower gonna show up with a bunch of coffee and ramen packets and be like, are we good now? Is it safe for me to walk the yard? Yeah. She didn't die of lung cancer, by the way. That would have made this gift even weirder if he just dropped them off and said, hey, don't pull too hard, these work. No, it's actually really funny how she died. Oh, stay with me! Y'all remember the record-breaking heat wave we all had last summer? I am sure you do. Well, during the first climb up to 100 plus, she had a heat stroke, and that's what killed her. Yeah, I know. But she's a climate change denier. You're not all with it, and I could care less. It's a funny death, you guys. I'm not here to ask you, I'm telling you. That's why you don't have a microphone. Funny death, you guys. And don't look at me like I'm the monster. I didn't make these rules. But that is how funny works. When you deny the existence of the very thing that ends yours, I'm allowed to giggle when I read your obituary. This lady is the opposite of Babe Ruth. Do y'all get that? She pointed out and said it's not getting any hotter. It got hotter than it ever has before. That heat, Mama murdered her. Funny death, you guys. This ain't even a joke. It's just a series of facts that are objectively hilarious when listed in order. On the certificate, on the death certificate, the cause was listed as being Chekhov's gun. That's I agree, dog. That is a smart joke. Most of y'all didn't get it. And I think you're full of crap, because half of you were reading books in this park earlier, but you missed Chekhov's gun, so. Now, don't feel bad. I'm too dumb to be telling that joke anyway. Whether or not you know what Chekhov's gun is, know that every time I say it, I gotta stop myself from calling it Smirnoff's gun. So you're fine. You don't have to. Here's how good this lady's death was. Herman Cain would have liked it. Yeah. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Hermie, Darwin's favorite son? The Godfather's pizza of Republican presidential candidates? COVID denier whose famous last words were, this whole thing is a big giant, you know, Herman Cain. Herman Cain. You know, yeah, glasses, you know what I'm talking about, right? I bet if he were here today, he'd be laughing at this woman's death. In fact, I bet that as we speak, he is looking down on her grave from white heaven, and he's looking. It's the nicest place I could have put it. He's looking down while on a break from bussing tables in white heaven, and I don't know what you think they do with us up there, but that is it. That's a lot of what makes it white heaven. He's taking his first 15. They're not going to give him his second. In white heaven. And he's looking down. And he's reading a tombstone. And at some point, he says to himself, jovially, then he realizes humans can't make that noise. So he takes a step back. No, I'm just kidding. He just goes, it's ironic though, right? You get it? You get it? Yo, my name is Adam Posse. Thanks for hanging out.
And Posse, everybody, give it up for one more time. Well, that's been our show. That's been Minority Retort. You guys have a good time tonight? Fantastic, fantastic. Give it up for all comps you saw tonight. Please give it up for Minwap Nye, Julie Brown, Thomas Lundy, Katie Wynn, and Posse you just saw, and the host of Washington Boston, he had to go, he had some stuff to do. My name is Jason Lamb, the producer of the show. Once again, called Minority Retort. If you like the show, please come down and see us August 12th at the Siren Theater at 3rd and Davis downtown. We got another big headliner coming in. And if you like the show, please follow us on Facebook and IG and keep up to date with the show. And thank you so much for coming out. And give it up also for Kickstand Comedy. What we're doing.